The American dream, it doesn't have to just be a dream. It can become real. The most successful person I know could use a pencil and paper to build a house. The most successful person that I know sought financial stability for both himself and his family. And the most successful person I know was a man of faith, putting only God and family first. He was one in a million, and I'm proud to have called him my grandpa. Success doesn't always come easy. You have to start somewhere. At an early age, he was taught to be self-sufficient by his parents. If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. This was the fearless attitude that both him and his brothers were taught by his father. This would come into play later on when they had to support their own family. As a young man, his brothers and he found themselves on their own. He used to always remind me about the time that he started with less than $2 in his pocket. It was basically a sink or swim situation for him, but I know my grandfather was ready. They stuck to what they knew best, which was construction. This is what they were taught by their dad. They gained experience working different odd-end jobs. My grandfather was even able to teach himself English. Who could say that? After years of experience, he set out to become a more independent worker. Honing in some new skills, he found his calling, carpentry. He wanted to become a carpenter. He was joined by his brothers who was just as experienced, and through quality work and by word of mouth, he quickly became his own boss. Working for yourself opens so many windows of opportunities, and my grandfather was starting to become an investor. My grandpa believed in not buying what you can't afford, which totally makes sense. He saved money whenever possible and reduced his spending. After building his home, little by little, he ended up owning it at its completion. Who could say that nowadays? He thought to himself, if he could do it once before, why not again? This was the opportunity that he was waiting for. He had an idea of making profit and bought and built homes on different plots of land. He had reached a new status. Now he was a landlord. Pretty good. Eventually, he had owned a network of various lots and homes. This was making him income. One of his prized possessions was the purchase of a ranch. He was always so proud to have bought this in cash. He was also always so proud that he was the first Mexican American who had owned and operated his own ranch in the small little town in West Texas. Now he had become a rancher. Just add this to the occupation list. He knew his success wasn't on his own. In fact, he had the help all along the way. He was a devoted Catholic, putting God first. He attended church religiously and joined the Knights of Columbus. It was with this that he was able to help people in any way he could. That's who he was. He showed love and compassion to anybody around him. He always told me about that good advice goes a long way. And he wasn't wrong. Becoming a father, he was able to adopt a daughter, which was both challenging and rewarding. But he couldn't have done it without my grandma's support. Eventually, he was blessed with 2 grandsons. His family was expanding, but how far or how big would it get? Only time would tell. So my grandfather passed down faith, wisdom, and some of his estate. Through his guidance, I had become just as blessed and successful with my own family. My family had become everything that he's always wanted. We are his legacy. So carpenter, investor, and faith in both God and family. I guess these had become his tools to a successful, happy life. He went to be with God in 2008. We inherited everything he had, but most importantly, who he was. I'm most proud to have inherited his last name, Sanchez. That's my middle name. He has proved that the American dream is real. So what are you waiting for? This is the story of my Grandpa Sanchez.